Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I hope you guys have your Crypto Morning Coffee locked and loaded because today we have some important topics. Can Bitcoin go to 125,000 in the bull run, or is this just a lower target and we are actually headed higher to 200,000? That is the big question. And also we are going to take a look what is happening to Bitcoin right now in the short term, because we are taking a little bit of a breather. And then also we want to know what wrecked the NFT market at the moment. And there is an interesting feature right now for NFTs on Twitter. But all of that right after the intro. So good morning, everyone, that you are already here in the chat. I'm a little bit late today, sorry for that, almost 5 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry for that as well. I hope that wasn't too loud. But a little bit late today because I couldn't get my streaming software started. That is the reason. But nonetheless, smash the like button. And I hope you guys are also here with your coffee in hand. We have Dr. Knut Betzold from Heidelberg tuning in. We have NFT Hero here who wouldn't even sell at 200,000. Bless you. Yeah, thank you, man. And we have Markus Zim saying hello. So welcome to this morning stream. Quick housekeeping. Please do your own research before you ape full degen into the cryptos and NFTs of this world, because I am not a financial advisor. This is entertainment only. You know that. And also make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. If you watch this after the stream, then make sure to check out the description for timestamps to find your favorite topics. And I want to thank each and every one of my rare hodlers here behind me on the screen for always supporting me on this journey and for being the channel member that they are. So, some of them since a long time. But with that out of the way, let's look what is actually happening at the moment, and maybe start directly with the reason why the market is a little bit red, and that is US labor market shows resilience on eve of June's employment report. And that came out yesterday, as you can see here, in the evening. So why is this bad? Because usually you would say, hey, people still in employment, that's pretty good. They are earning money, should be good. Companies holding them, so they are not too much in trouble, should also be good. Why would the markets be red if you have all of these good numbers? Like weekly jobless claims increase only a little. Continuing claims drop by 13,000, so more than once the short terms increase. Private payrolls jump. Job openings decline a little bit, but not very much. All in all, the number of American new claims for unemployment benefits increase moderately, while private payrolls surge, suggesting that the labor market remained on solid ground despite growing risk of a recession. Here it says demand for new hires remains elevated and employers are still holding on to the workers they have. The data continue to make a soft landing scenario increasingly likely, which is in the long term a good thing. But the reason why stock markets are down or are red, and why this also has an effect on Bitcoin, is that this increases the fears of a Fed rate hike, because the Fed had stopped the rate hikes when there were more layoffs and when companies started to struggle and company failures started to pile up, especially bank failures. Now that the job market is coming resilient in again, this could mean, this could be the signal for Jerome Powell to continue the rate hikes. And if he continues the rate hikes, that means that he's strengthening the dollar. And we all know from watching this channel that when he's strengthening the dollar, then Bitcoin takes more time to go up, right? When the dollar gets stronger, actually Bitcoin and risk-on assets go down. So this is how it all ties together. So basically, the fear is here that the Fed takes money out of the pile, money from the worldwide liquidity, and therefore money out of the market. That's the fear. It's not guaranteed. It doesn't mean that it will come with the next rate hike, but Jerome Powell had already mentioned, and he knows the data before everyone else, but more than 1 week ago, a little bit more, he had mentioned in Portugal that he thinks that still back-to-back rate hikes are necessary. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out, but that is the reason, according to CNBC, why this is all happening. Good morning, Energy, and good morning, Felipe. Welcome to the stream. So, which brings me to this one here, because despite all of that, which is more a short-term effect, we have also a long-term effect, and we have seen that in the long term, liquidity has been, in my opinion, liquidity and the cycle are, there's always this discussion, what is the real driver of the Bitcoin cycle? Is it the halving, or is it like the increased scarcity, or is it the liquidity? And in my opinion, it's just, maybe it's both, right? Maybe it's both, and it just fits perfectly together. But we see here Bitcoin could rally to 125,000 by the end of 2024, according to Matrixport. So the forecast is consistent with Bitcoin's tendency to chalk out sharp gains in the months after the mining reward halves. So that is the tendency. And the fourth halving is due next year. We all know that, but we want to know why 125,000. And for many people, end of 2024, which would be the Bullrun peak, 125,000 would be even, let's say, not even reaching the target, right? Because many people expect the target of 150,000 plus, but I think this should be a minimum target, right? It's a conservative target, but the forecast is based on data that shows a multi-month bull market comprising a meteoric surge in market value unfolds once prices confirm the end of the bear market by setting a 12-month high for the first time in at least a year. And that is the signal. That signal was triggered last month after prices topped 31,000, the highest since June 2022. Previous signals occurred in August 12, December 15, May 19, and August 2020. So we are here once again triggering that signal, with prices rallying in the following years after that. On June 22, 23, Bitcoin made a new one-year high, marking the first time in a year. This signal has historically indicated the end of the bear markets and the start of new crypto bull markets. If history is any guide, Bitcoin prices could climb by 123% over 12 months and by 300% over 18 months based on average return of the signals triggered in 2015, 19, 2020. That would lift prices to 65,000 within the next 12 months and 125,000 over 18 months. So here we see it also. This is the performance after the signal has been triggered. So here we see last time we had the last ones. We had mixed signals in the beginning, but after that we were increasingly accurate in the plus, right? So here's the 27 May 19, which is actually, so there are two signals because of the seed crisis crash, and then we had triggered the signal again. So that's why this is a little bit mixed. But if you see, oh, actually that one isn't. No, it's not. It's not. This is the C crisis signal, I think, 11th of August. Yeah, so the upper one is it. After 3 months, every time in history we have been in the plus after the signal being triggered, and 6 months later there's only this 27th of May 19, which is actually not the C crisis one. That's the normal bear market one. But you see here in the table that usually in the average all four and in the average last three, we have been 100% above already, where we are more or less right now at the moment, right? So we have been 100% 6 months after. So 6 months after would be somewhere around December. And here's the projection, more or less 63,000 would be. After 3 months we would be in around 37,000, and 2 months after that's already where we are right now. So they are assuming that after the signal there is still a correction. So yeah, we will see that in the chart a little bit later as well, how that would look like. But let's look at this. I think this was interesting because right now we have basically the smartening in the shrimps, in the Bitcoin shrimps, because we see here the great shrimp awakening is happening. Those with less than 1 BTC, by the way, that's me also. I don't have a full Bitcoin yet. AKA shrimp, have been accumulating 33,800 BTC per month, which is 8,800, 8,800 more than is issued. So only the shrimps are buying up more than is coming out in that time frame. So only the shrimps, if only the shrimps was accumulating, they would still be reducing the new supply and have everyone else forced into the old supply, so to say. This cohort hasn't stacked this hard since 2017 top, and that shows how educated and committed the plebs are. And so we are the plebs, happy to be the plebs, but we are going to accumulate more and more. At least I am, because I am in the shrimp category. Some of you I know are not. Some of you are above the shrimp category. But I have a DCA plan that's automatically executed that just buys more and more Bitcoin every week. And yeah, as you see here, shrimps have actually been buying the bottom. They have been buying here and then also here. Shrimps have been buying hard in the bottom zone. So that is good to see. But yeah, overall, it shows that the market is getting more educated, right? Then also this here, interesting. This is Stock Money Lizards claiming here that Bitcoin structure of the last current cycle and the current cycle combined is looking similar. So once again, and I know I show some of these every time, but I think it's important to see if this plays out as usual. So we have our baseline structure here, which is the trapdoor, this mega support. We have a double bottom onto the since I don't know, years resistance line, double bottom, and then we have this break above, yeah, here, pre-halving action so far, and the pre-halving action there was 360%. And now we remember that in the article we also saw that after 6 months or after a while, until the end of the year, they are expecting 300% rally, not in the small one, but in total. So we see here that we should be, if we would get somewhere close there, we should be rallying still before we have this long drawn out correction into the parabolic move into the halving. So we should be rallying in the next 2 to 3 months somewhere to 46, 47,000, according to this also, and according to my analysis also, and then correct into the halving. So we should be rallying at latestly in October, and then correct until April. Charles Delgado says, I found out this week I'm wallet 141 from the top 500 wallets in Veve. Let's go. Oh man, congratulations. So we can now look at your wallet. No, not quite yet, but if you are increasing a little bit more, you would be in the top 100, and we could look at your wallet and accumulation on the VVX tracker. This also just another chart, but still interesting. So we have all of our pullbacks here, our all-time highs, and then we have these two phases calculated here as well. So blue is the price right now, red lines are the bear market pullbacks, and then the bull run is the yellow one, and then we have the two bull phase. We have the slow and the quick bull phase, and we are like 30% through the slow bull phase. And also here we should, in every chart we see that, in every estimate, in every calculation, that we should be rallying a little bit more before we take our long breather into the parabolic move. And this trader tardigrade says 200k is his estimate. Based on this projection of a long bull and a short bull phase, $200k is his projection. So we should be estimating something between 125 and 200k at least, somewhere in between. Then also from him, this could be also interesting. Again, the slow and the parabolic bull. So yeah, it's in accordance with what we have seen in the previous markets: the slow bull and then the parabolic move. And I don't know how, but this parabolic move obviously looks different than these ones. It's probably also a result of market situation and here of rampant and hidden inflation. Otherwise we wouldn't have had this go so high. Yeah, let's look at the market, and we see already from yesterday we have been shrinking a lot in the altcoins, which was expected. The weekly altcoin gains are almost eaten up. We are pretty red on the day, and we are even mixed now on the month. Still big on Bitcoin Cash, upright. Compound is still in the plus, Casper still in the plus. But overall, many of these altcoins are right now very red. Let's look at Bitcoin here. Actually, let me just refresh that. So if you are zoomed out, and if you are in the day, or if you are in the daily chart and you are zoomed in, so to say, it looks dramatic. We got rejected on this overhead resistance. We have been even breaking into this trend line of the bull flag that we had before. Somehow, somehow we bounced back here on this level, on this level of support actually, which we have here. But if you go to the weekly, you see it's not too big of a deal, yeah, because it doesn't look too much of a different price action here on the weekly. We are just hovering under this resistance. It was clear that this will be hard to break. We know that this resistance, we have looked at it yesterday, that this resistance exists since a long time, and we should be actually, if and when we break it, even if we are hovering a little bit here and we then break it just where I mark also the breakout point with this second little cup, then we should be rallying somehow like this, yeah, and then correcting out until into the parabolic move. Something like this should be happening, in my opinion. Now this would also more or less align with the this would be peak, for example, 23rd of October, and then dragging out until April. So right here has to be the turnaround. Here's the halving somewhere, but it should be looking more or less like this, I think. And from the projection of this cup and handle, we should be at least coming up to this previous high, maybe break this previous high a little bit. But that is our target. We are observing this, and by the way, we also have this, oops, why is there a line? This shouldn't be there. But we also have the Bitcoin top here, set at, yeah, actually at 136,000. Just that was a rough estimate at the time. Would fit in. I hope we massively overshoot this, and this is super wrong, but this is where we at latestly should top out, maybe a little bit earlier, I don't know yet. But yeah, that is how it looks, and we have our bear market trough almost behind us. If we are breaking above this, the slow bull run is really going on here. And that is Bitcoin. I think what's more interesting right now is with this Fed rate hike is the dollar, because we have been talking about the dollar a lot, I know. I don't want to bore you with it, but it's super important. And actually, the dollar has not been reacting to this possibility of the labor market, of the rate hikes. The dollar has been rejected once more from this small resistance line here. And that is good for Bitcoin in general. Right now, Bitcoin is not behaving 100% symmetrically, but we are still looking forward to the dollar collapsing here. However, if we get a rate hike, and usually when we got rate hikes, we got green price action on the dollar value. So what we want to see is that despite maybe a rate hike, that in the longer term, we can fulfill this big mountain range and really collapse through this mega support line here for the dollar. There is one other chart that now, the first time for the dollar, that I found that is interesting, and that is this one from Mustache. And it is, by the way, I have to get the chat out of the way so you can see really the important part. So the Gaussian channel for the dollar, so this is the DXY that we are also looking at. We are mostly looking at this part here of the DXY. This Gaussian channel has just flipped red, and every time that it has flipped red, the dollar has been getting hammered. And when the dollar is getting hammered, then it's Bitcoin season, and then it's altcoin season, and then it's NFT season, and I knew it. That's exactly the moment that Jordan Rees piles up here on the channel, comes in on the channel, because that's the moment where you say something bullish. It's like the bad signal for Jordan. Welcome to the stream. As you see here, Gaussian channel flipping red means more downside, and historically means more downside, and bull run triggered for crypto in general. So that is basically the flip is somewhere here, where we are right now here, in the Gaussian channel. So yeah, that is where we are right now. So the last two times this happened, Bitcoin experienced a bull run with a parabola in the following months, and that was 16 to 17 and 20 to 21. Doesn't mean that it has to happen exactly like this, but the fact that it is happening, we are seeing, yeah, let's go bull run. Bitcoin dominance is climbing once again. We have said it. We have said that this is happening, I think, even on the daily, we are climbing once again, not even bothered to touch the trend line. Bitcoin dominance is climbing again. And why? Even though Bitcoin is correcting, Bitcoin dominance is climbing, because Bitcoin dominance is actually climbing. When Bitcoin corrects and altcoins correct harder, which we see here, then Bitcoin dominance is climbing. Yeah. Or so to say, if Bitcoin is bought way more than everything else, and even with money liquidated from altcoins, yeah, you see here, this unfortunately didn't hold. The altcoin market is putting in lower highs here, so the altcoin market is correcting, which has an influence on economy. Let's refresh the site so that we don't run into trouble. Actually, it doesn't have too much of an effect for economy on the weekly, but on the daily it has. Also, economy is in the red a little bit, and holding pretty strong in this same range. Seems to be a little bit locked between two sides here. But yeah, we are still observing. In my opinion, there's no need. We have drawn in this wedge a while ago. We have not really touched this wedge. I know that Crypto Rain, for example, has another wedge drawn in where we have broken out of, but in my opinion, yeah, we are expecting more downside for OMI. Sorry, Jordan, but I know you would accumulate more, so you would make the best of it. There's not too much to say, because the entire week that we make the streams is this year. So what is this? This is like a volatility. If you take this week generously, it's a volatility of 10% total within this week. That's nothing. And also this is a non-mover at the moment. And yeah, we will see if there is more that we can do. So let's talk about NFTs quickly, and also talk about economy and or Veve more in the sense. But we have been reading the Bored Ape Yacht crash, and the question is, did Blur really crash the NFT market? So there's accusation of Blur, and the analysis is that Blur has actually incentivized people to buy and flip NFTs, and therefore wrecked the floor prices in order to farm the yields that you get for buying and selling NFTs. So with prices fading, NFT traders are blaming marketplace Blur and its flipping incentives, as Blur founder decries bad takes. So Bored Ape prices have been hitting a 2-year low, and other prominent projects are seeing sizable price drops as of late, except Veve, who is in a rally at the moment, which led to different theories, which we discussed 2 streams ago. Many investors and influencers in the NFT world are starting to point fingers at who's to blame, and many of those fingers are pointing at Blur. Amid falling NFT prices, traders are more vocally pushing back against the incentivized trading model of the upstart marketplace, which overtook OpenSea as the leading Ethereum NFT trading platform by volume. And this volume is then also artificially generated, right? Blur has reinforced the notion that NFTs, which can represent assets like artwork and in-game items, aren't unique, but rather are merely altcoins with pictures, as crypto influencer Kobe controversially tweeted last year. Now, basically, Blur branded itself as a platform for pro NFT traders and teased a token airdrop that would make it worthwhile to use the platform over OpenSea and other rivals. When the Blur token finally came in February, Blur immediately leapfrogged OpenSea to become the top marketplace by trading volume. Very smart move here, but the incentive model was immediately controversial because traders began rapidly flipping NFTs to yield rewards, treating Bored Apes and other sideland plots like fungible tokens. Trading volume on Blur surged, pushing February's market-wide over 2 billion, but some, including data platform CryptoSlam, have called that all wash trading, which it looks a little bit like, right, from what we are reading here. So the Blur boost was short-lived. Overall market trading has fallen sharply in recent months, and whale traders who expertly gamed the rewards model at first are now losing money and pulling out their funds of Blur's NFT bidding pool. So over the last couple of days, crypto Twitter influencers have increasingly pointed out that they see negative effects from Blur's approach. So the battle over controlling the price floor or the cheapest listed NFT from a project, and that Blur's tactics have harmed the market. Blur is spending tens of millions of dollars in airdrop incentives to lower the floor, spending tens of millions to tank the NFT market and control the floor. This is directly eating into your bags. Every dollar they spend lowers the NFT market proportionally. Now, where do I want to get with all of this? Because there is now a positive effect in this bear market from Veve NFTs not being part of that. Now, you can obviously say, okay, but we could have listed the Veve NFTs and they would probably still be higher than where they are right now in the closed ecosystem, but they are at least not in this machine of artificially lowering prices and trading back and forth to earn rewards. So there might be a positive factor to that. Now, the negative side is obviously still with Veve that we do not have cash out and that we do not have any interoperability. So it's just one argument, and don't crucify me for it. But you see here what is happening to established NFTs on these marketplaces. But I think that's what the NFT market has to go through. And after that, as we said in the last streams, probably people are looking for high quality NFTs that have an intrinsic value by the brand that they are representing and by the potential future benefits that they can hold for these NFT holders on Veve. We have looked at this yesterday with the benefits that the Lacoste NFTs represent. So that, by the way, is the signal for you guys to smash up the like button and subscribe to my channel to never miss out on all of these topics and to know what's going on in Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, and the NFT space with a focus on Veve. But at the moment, there is one more thing that is big, and I don't want to let this out or leave this out before we talk about Veve, which is you can now buy NFTs on Twitter through Inspect's browser extension. NFT Inspect recently released a Chrome browser extension that analyzes NFTs used as Twitter profile pics and is integrated in MoonPay's payment solution. So with this browser extension, you are apparently, it is possible for you to have your NFT as your profile pic and to purchase also NFTs directly on Twitter. Last month, Inspect released this extension that provides real-time data on popular NFT collections commonly used as Twitter profile pictures. The Twitter NFT search tool, which is also available in beta web version, allows users to search different ways an NFT is used on Twitter and analyze the blockchain data about the collection. And according to press release, the new partnership will enable NFT Inspect users to purchase a range of cryptocurrencies using MoonPay payment infrastructure to then buy the NFTs. MoonPay supports payment methods such as debit card, Apple, and so on. This collaboration reinforces our shared vision of fostering widespread crypto adoption and creating borderless digital payment ecosystem where everyone can participate regardless of the experience level. So what we really want to see obviously is not one browser extension, but really how do you say this? Yeah, like a full integration into Twitter. Dr. Knut, all right, work time. Catch you later. Thank you for being here. Catch you later as well in hopefully some more content. Let's talk about Veve. And Veve is actually launching the Kung Fu Panda Legendary Dragon Warrior drop. This animated Kung Fu Panda digital collectible drops on Sunday. 9th of July, 8 a.m. And we will do the following. We will make this full screen, and we are going to take the sound out, because last time my live stream got demonetized from presenting the Red Hulk drop with sound, because of a copyright infringement, or I don't know what, because they used something in the background, and immediately this creator has taken over the monetization of my stream. So unfortunately, until Veve gets this sorted out, that content creators can run these trailers here without with sound, without having that copyright infringement, we will do this without sound. And yeah, that's something, I made a tweet about this. I told Veve about this should not be happening. So maybe they have something where they would say, hey boys, content creators, that's all fine, you can play the sound, nothing will happen to your video, but it's just too risky that at some point you'll get a strike or something like that. But let's talk about the collectible. So I think that's a cool collectible. It's I think Kung Fu Panda was pretty it's a pretty hyped figure of the movies. I think it's good to have these collectibles first on Veve. This is a first look. We will see if it drops as a soul collectible, or if there are different stances and animations. But it's also Asian related content, which is pretty good to see. I think that will bring value to the app, and I think Veve also has stepped up their game. If you see this latestly, all of the collectibles are getting these animated trailers. You remember a couple of months ago we only got like trailers where these collectibles fly in and just show the animation, and then before we just had pictures of the collectibles. So I think there's also improvement on that side from Veve. That is good to see, and I hope in the future the trailers are even better, even more story loaded. But it's good to see that Veve has this Kung Fu Panda here for the app. Now, don't forget, boys and girls, that we will have the Hulk on Saturday, and the door today at 8 a.m. PT. So there are a couple of waitlist drops, and the door, as you see here, is going to give you the option to use the door and get some of these posters, or stay with the door. So it's like the Disney potion, or stay with the door and not trigger that, and therefore increase the scarcity of these posters. So there will be this mind play where people will wait until the latest moment to really evaluate what's more valuable, the door. Last time the potion, I think, passed some of the posters. I'm not quite sure about all of them, but the potion is like 180 gems or so. So right now the question is if the door will be more valuable than the scarce posters that are there. So it will be a secret rare, so also good for MCP points if you hold it. So yeah, we will see. Some people will stay with the door because it's just cooler in the vault than a random poster, right? So probably I don't know what I will do, but yeah, that's what Veve has here, and that's a cool Batman augmented reality here with the first season Batman rare. The Kung Fu Panda, some volts that we cannot play. Yeah, there are sometimes I don't know why if you go full screen automatically always triggers the sound here on Twitter. It's a little bit annoying, but it's a cool vault of stamps, the full stamp collection, presidential stamp collections. Yeah, I think that's it for Veve. So the drops, there are really like two exciting drops in my opinion, back to back. Friday the door, and then obviously on Saturday the comic. And I really hope that yeah, I can get on both of these drops something. But if I were to miss out, then I'd rather miss out on the door than on the Hulk comic. For a chance to get something good out of the Hulk comic, that would be very good, very amazing. Yeah, please, Veve algorithm, give me something good on the on the Hulk drop, guys. Okay, I think today we have the chance to end it here a little bit earlier. Thank you all for watching. It's a freaking Friday, almost weekend, boys. We're almost there. Guys, let me know in the comments below also what you think about these drops. Don't forget to smash up the like button on your way out. Subscribe. I thank you all for being here, for giving me your comments. We are excited to see what Bitcoin is doing. Usually maybe on the weekend, not so much volatility, but we never know what happens. And we will be... So during the weekend, I hopefully get a video out, but if not, I see you on Monday on the next episode of Crypto Morning Coffee. Excited to see what has happened until then. And if something crazy happens during that time, I'll also be here with a video. I have a video planned. I don't know when I will be able to finalize it, but that one will be on Ecomi and Veve, and also stay tuned for more Vechain content. Yeah, and with that, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I see you in the next live stream.